Hey you guys, it's Kayla's Crazy Candy, and in this tutorial I'm going to be showing you guys how to make a candy cuff. Now, these are the basic candy cuffs. I'm going to be showing you how to make a two-toned one similar to this. And they're really easy, they're definitely great for beginners, so let's go ahead and get started on what you're going to need. Alright, so to start off you're going to need some elastic string. You're going to need pony beads. Now I'm going to use two different colors, gray and blue, but really you can use as many colors as you'd like. You're also going to need a pair of scissors. You're also going to need, if you would like, a beading needle. You don't have to use these, but I prefer to use them because it speeds up the process a little. Now to start, you're going to grab your string, and I've already attached my needle, but you can see there are two different colors in this cuff, black and red. I'm going to show you how to string on your beads a little bit easier with this pattern. So to start, take one color and string it on, so in my case blue, and I'm going to take a gray next, and then another blue, and another gray. And this is going to be my pattern all the way around my bracelet. Now, as far as your pattern goes, and as far as sizing goes, what you want is at least increments of 2. Now the most standard cuff sizes are 30 beads around, 32 beads around, 34 beads around, and sometimes 36 beads around. This is determined by how big your wrist size is and how big your hand size is. So if you have small hands, 30 to 32 beads may work, but if you have bigger hands, you may need 34 to 36. It really depends. So I'm going to go ahead and continue doing this until I get to my pattern. So you can see here that I've got all 30 of my beads strung on, and they should be alternating blue, gray. In your pattern, it can be whatever you want. You're going to take the short end of your string and tie it to the long end of your string. Just like this. I like to usually tie at least 2, but the most knots I'll tie is 3. And now you have your single. So now you can see here, now that my string is attached and my needle is on, that our string is coming out of in between this gray bead and this blue bead. Now you can string your string in between either one of these beads, just string it onto one of them. So I'm going to go into this gray bead here. So that one. Just like that. And now you can see that our string is coming out of this gray bead here. So this is going to be bead 1. Now you're going to string on a blue bead, and you can see our pattern is gray, blue. So we're coming out of this gray bead right here. Skip bead number 2, which is a blue bead, and go into bead number 3, which is a gray bead. And you're going to do that basically all the way around, but I'll show you here again one more time. As you can see, once you've done that, you should get a similar effect to like when bricks lay, like a staggered effect almost. So now we're coming out of a gray bead, which is bead 3. You're going to string on another blue bead, if I can decide what I'm doing. Alright, string on another blue bead, and now we're coming out of bead 3. You're going to skip over bead 4 and go into bead 5. And you're going to do this all the way around until you get to your last bead that you need to string on, and I will come back once you've done that. Alright, now that you have almost all of your beads strung on, you should have something that looks like this. We need to string on one last blue, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And you can see we need to start our next row, but if we go into just this bead, we don't have another space to go up onto these gray beads. So you're going to string into this last gray bead and then go into this top blue bead that's sticking out right here. So go into the gray and the blue, like this. And now, because you've gone into that top blue bead, you can now string on the rest of your beads. So, instead of alternating string on a blue, go into a gray, string on a blue, go into a gray. We're going to alternate string on a gray and then go into a blue for this round. So a gray bead, and you're going to do this all the way around just like you did the last row. So we're coming out here, right there. You're going to skip this gray bead and go into the next blue bead with a gray bead on your string. Oops, hit the camera. And now, when you start to build more rows onto your cuff, you're going to see that the cuff is going to start to stand up on its own, and that's what you want. So one more time, gray bead, and then we're coming out here, go into the next blue bead that's standing up. And I will come back once you have as many rows as you want done, and then I will show you how to tie off. So I've come to the end of my last row. You can see I've added a couple on. Now just go into this blue bead. You don't need to string up into the gray bead anymore. And now your candy cuff is done. All you have to do is tie it off. So to tie off, usually there's going to be this little space right in here that you want to put your needle into, or your string if you're not using a needle. So poke your needle through there and then wrap your string around your needle at least once. And then pull through, and then that ties your knot. And I like to do this twice at least. Sometimes I'll do 3, but it's totally up to you. And now what I'm going to do is show you guys how to hide your needle, or hide your thread. Just go into a couple diagonal beads next to the space where your knot is coming out of. And then after that, all you need to do is cut your ends, the long one and the short one that we had left. You could have cut that one off earlier, I just didn't think to. But now your candy cuff is done. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Kandi Patterns and on Instagram. I will link them down below. And you guys have a fantastic day. Bye!